Hi and welcome to video 4, how to make your cake balls. Now we're starting to get to the exciting part of making cake pops. So for your equipment list, what you're going to need for this module is your food processor. Again, it is optional if you don't have one. When we put it in the food processor, you can hand crumble it straight into your bowl. That's no problem at all. You're going to need your kitchen scales. You'll need a bowl to work from, a tablespoon, and a baking tray or a plate covered with baking paper or parchment paper. For your ingredients, we're going to obviously need our cream cheese frosting and our cooled cake. So let's get straight into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop our cake into our food processor. So all you need to do is just bit by bit, just break it in. And we're going to crumble the cake until it's at a nice consistency. Might have to do this in batches actually. My food processor isn't big enough, that's fine. Okay. Honestly, it doesn't take long at all. It's maybe 10 seconds. So what we'll do is we'll pop this into our bowl so then we can use the rest of our cake. I guess this is just a really good example to show you how quick the process is when you're using a food processor as opposed to hand crumbling it. Hand crumbling can take a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, and the food processor takes seconds. So. All right. I love the smell of this cake. Okay, so that's all in. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so now we've got our cake into a nice fine crumble. We're gonna get our cream cheese frosting. And what I want you to do is just start it off with tablespoon by tablespoon. This is really important to do because two things can end up happening to your cake balls, and consistency on your cake balls mean everything. So if you put not enough cream cheese frosting, what's going to happen is when you try and roll it into a ball, it's just going to crumble, and hopefully we'll have an example to show you of that. If you put too much cream cheese frosting, it ends up being that gooey cookie dough texture, which personally I can't stand. So that's one thing I really try and avoid. So just take your time with this, tablespoon by tablespoon, and we'll end up getting the perfect cake ball. And make sure you've got clean hands. All right, so we're gonna mix that together. Okay, so I can already tell you that that's not enough cream cheese frosting. We can give it a go to try and make it into a ball, but you can see it's just not gonna happen. So that's when we put some more, another tablespoon. And start mixing again. You can do the same thing with a spoon. Using your hands is good because you can automatically feel the texture as well while you're going. Okay, so you can see that it's starting to form into the consistency we want. I reckon if I grabbed some of it will turn into a ball, but not all of it. See how if I roll it, it turns into crumble? That's when you know that you haven't got enough cream cheese frosting. Put another tablespoon as we go. Okay, so to see if we're at the right texture, all you need to do is just grab a little bit, knead it in between your hands, and let's start rolling to see if it turns into a ball. And may I just say, we are ready to go. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. It's always good to have a clean, area when you're working in the kitchen. Okay, so we've got our cake mixture ready to go. Now we need our kitchen scales. Turn them on and make sure they are into grams. Okay, so this is really easy. You just grab a little bit and measure it until it turns into 30-gram balls. I like them to be exact, so then I know when I'm finishing my balls, they're all the same weight and size. So when you're rolling the ball, it's really important not to put too much pressure. If you put too much pressure, it's going to end up looking more like a little spaceship. So you need to roll from the middle of your palm, probably up into the midway of your fingers, and just with hardly any pressure at all, just keep rolling it until it forms into a really nice ball. This cake mixture, it's so easy to do. Once you're happy with your ball, you just pop it onto the tray and we keep going. Another great tip for when you're making your cake balls is when you've weighed it at 30 grams, instead of trying to go straight into rolling, it's really handy just to knead it in between each hand a couple of times. That just softens the dough and makes it combine together nice and easier. So do that first before start rolling the balls, and you'll find that they come out just a lot easier and a lot quicker for you. So now that our balls are all nicely rolled, what we're going to do is place them into the freezer for 10 minutes, and this is when we start on our candy melts. So pop them in and I'll see you on the next video.